year ago, I probably would have spoken and said, this is coming. Now I can show you a photograph of the Amero. Here it is. And on it, on the front of it, you'll see Liberty sitting. Interesting to see that she's got 3 fasciae, one a big one under her elbow, and 2 that she's sitting on either side of Liberty, the word Liberty. And the fasciae, those of you who watch the DVDs will remember that fasciae is a symbol for fascism. Like Mussolini, he used to have it on his postage stamps, and Hitler. This is the symbol for all power under one man. You go to the reverse side of the coin, and there you'll see the Union of North America. You can even see the picture of it at the bottom. This is the 20 Amero coin, and down on the bottom right there you'll see the D. This means that it was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Now this might come as a surprise to people. Well, unfortunately that's what it's supposed to do. In order to bring in the Amero, they need to have some sort of financial problem, specifically in America, but also worldwide. The dollar needs to be brought to its knees so that there will be a solution found to bring in a new currency, that we will hand in our dollars and get what's called the Amero. Now this sounds like conspiracy theory, but bear with me. Bear with me. It's not only the American Union that's bringing out a new currency. It's also in South Africa, we have what's known as the SADC countries, which is part of the African Union. And here's an article, and this is from 2008, saying that the South African passports could become a thing of the past. Going to get rid of passports because we're going to have a big union. Look what it says at the bottom of the article. A single SADC currency has been on the agenda at high-level member nation talks. This is not new, people. There's single currency in Europe, single currency in America, single currency in Africa, and so it's coming together. Now, why is this happening? Well, in 2004, the Pope called for a new world order. There you can see Pope John Paul rang in the new year. This is January 1st. His message, January 1st, 2004. Give us a new world order. Well, is it conspiracy or is it fact? Listen to what George Bush has to say about the new world order.
George Bush has talked time and time again about a new world order. And this is the best chance to begin to establish the new world order.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea. A new world order. Out of these troubled times, our 5th objective, a new world order, can emerge. Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
It's quite simple. Is it conspiracy theory or is it maybe fact? Is there maybe something that's coming down the line which we're not aware of? Well, it's not just the Americans that are calling for it. The very first thing, one of the first things that Prime Minister Gordon Brown said is he called for a new world order. When Putin was in power in Russia, he called for a new world order. Now, what is the new world order? Well, the new world order is basically a management system to control all of us into a single, sort of a global family, right? And it's got to do with biometric controls, etc. But I go into a lot of information on my New World Order DVD. I'm not going to go into that now. But for the New World Order to work, certain systems need to be in place. Number one, the very first one that has to be in place, is we have to have global interlaced technology. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, the banks around the world need to be able to communicate with each other no matter what system they've got. So if you've got Sun Microsystems or Apple Mac or Windows, they need to have a common language on which to operate. You need interlaced and interoperational computer networks, so global interlaced technology. The second thing you need is a global political focus. The third thing you need is a global environmental focus, and I'll tell you why I include that now. And you also need a global financial management system. Now, why a global financial management system? Well, hold on, we'll get to that in a couple of slides' time. You see, the plan is to get everyone everywhere on the planet to submit to centralized management organizations. Let me give you an example. The global interlaced technology idea. Is there anywhere in the world where all technologies have to submit their documentation to get what's called an ITU standard? Is it maybe the ITU? Yes, anyone that's involved in telecommunications will know a company called, or an organization called, the International Telecommunications Union. This is an organization that it produces and supplies all the standards for global interactive technology. So if I have a video conferencing unit in Japan, and my friend has one in South Korea, and another friend has one in Germany, they can communicate to each other through the ITU standards. So one organization worldwide that produces and it shows all the world's computers how to interlace. What about a global political focus? Is there one organization worldwide where you can find this global political focus? Yes, what's it called? The United Nations. Now, the United Nations their role is not only politics, but have you noticed that they're starting to get involved in the environment? Now, a single global environmental focus is also needed, but I put it there with the United Nations and a religious leader. Why a religious leader? Well, we'll get to that just now, but it has to do with something about what's called, in your insurance, an act of God. The last thing that we need is something like a global financial management system. Say, for example, the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund. How do these people work together? How do they get all the computers worldwide to submit to one organization? How do they get all the banks worldwide to submit? They do it through what's called the Hegelian process or the Hegelian principle. Hegel was a philosopher that lived a while ago, and he came up with the idea of thesis, A, antithesis or antithesis, B. You get them to rub together and out comes C, synthesis. In South Africa they did that. They took the white people and they rubbed them up against the black people and they got them very cross with each other, and after a couple of years out came democracy. Thesis, antithesis, rubbed together, synthesis. Now you just have to look at here's an image of William Schnurbelin's Masonic certificate, and you'll see on top there the symbol is Ordo ab Chao. Here's also an image of the phoenix rising out of the ashes. This is a symbol for Freemasonry. As the phoenix rises out of the ashes, this is called the order, which is out of chaos. Freemasonry's slogan is Ordo ab Chao, which means order out of chaos. They create chaos in order to get the order that they are looking for. Right? It's a very clever plan and very dark plan of theirs. Behold, a pale horse says something which is even more shocking. The secret societies were planning as far back as 1917 to invent an artificial threat in order to bring humanity together in a one world government, which they called the New World Order. So right back in the early 1900s already, there was a plan for a New World Order. And it's been coming a long time. What did David Rockefeller say the other day? Listen, he says this present window of opportunity, during which a truly peaceful and interdependent world order might be built, will not be open for too long. Listen carefully, we are on the verge of a global transformation. All we need now is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the New World Order. All we need now is not it's the right major crisis. Now, how do you ensure that you get the right major crisis? You create it. You create chaos in order to have the synthesis of order. Now, this is something which might be new to you, but it's well documented, and I cover it in my lectures entitled God's Final Call. Now, I've mentioned just now that in order to have a new world order, all the computers worldwide need to be able to communicate. It's called global interlaced technology. In order to have global interlaced technology, you need the right